Now let's talk about some communication principles. Communication principles are important because communication is important. The IT department cannot live in an isolated facility away from the rest of the organization or their clients. I've been successful at working in this field often because of my communication skills. I am by no means perfect at communicating, far from it, but because I work at improving myself, it has allowed me to be an effective practitioner. Here are some of the skills that you're going to need to communicate effectively. First is to listen. It is often said that we listen to respond. Instead, we need to listen to learn from the people that we're talking to. If a user has a problem, don't assume the solution. Listen and make sure you understand what they are talking about. Second is to prepare. Do research to understand your client before you talk to them. This will make your communication more effective. Learn things like jargon and terms that they might use. The more you prepare, the better your meetings will go. Over my years as a software engineer, I have done work with doctors, accountants, training and development people, and many other different types of departments and clients. If I did not know how to talk to them and understand what they were talking about, I would not be able to help them. Next is use a facilitator, especially if you're in a meeting with a lot of people. This is going to allow everyone to talk and divides tasks for the developers between asking questions and taking notes. This facilitator can also mediate any issues that might arise. Now, I am a huge fan of one-on-one meetings, and one-on-one meetings should not need a facilitator. But those large meetings, often part of a kickoff process or a go-live process, they often do have lots of people, and a facilitator is often helpful. As someone who has been in large meetings, both where there was and wasn't a facilitator, I can surely tell you which ones were more effective. Why? Well, a facilitator is also going to help keep you on track. Now, face-to-face communication is best. And it doesn't matter if you're in a group of people around a table or just one-on-one. You see, humans use a lot of nonverbal communication. In fact, it is said that up to 80% of what we communicate isn't with our words. Having the ability to do real-time communication and to look at a person and read those nonverbal cues will drastically help your communication. Instead of having to wait hours or even days for an email or a letter or some other type of response to go about that process. That real-time communication that's face-to-face is going to speed up the communication, let things stay fresh in your mind, and help you to be more effective. If you can't meet face-to-face, video conferences work in most circumstances. But it always seems that in-person meetings get more done and get more done faster. Next is to take notes and document decisions. This way you have a track record, not if, but when disagreements come up. It also lets you remember what you discussed. A lot of people say that we only remember about 20 to 30% of what we hear. But if we write things down, our memory of those items goes way up and we have something we can look back upon. When I'm working with a client, you'll often see me with a notebook taking notes furiously so I can remember everything that they needed. The next is to strive for collaboration in your communication. Often working together on small things makes it easier to work as a group on bigger things. So strive for collaboration so that you can all work towards that common goal. You want to stay focused. That is, modularize your discussion. Stick with one topic and don't move on until you've finished working that topic. Then you can move on. If you view each topic as a separate standalone module, you can break if you need to so that you can keep working later on. Next, if things are unclear, draw a picture. The spoken language can be ambiguous, and if you're working with people who have different first languages, it can be even more challenging. Therefore, sketch things out. Create a visual picture, literally, to make sure that everyone understands what they're talking about. While a visual picture works even better for certain things like a user interface or data modeling, you'll find that being able to draw a picture makes sure that you fully understand and the other people do as well. Next, know when to move on. Either when you agree or when you can't agree. You've got to know when to move on. And then return if you need to. It's much better than getting stuck and talking in circles and making no progress. If you can't agree, you might need to come back and even utilize a facilitator to help you. Finally, don't view negotiations as a contest that you have to win. When you work as a team, whether it's with other team members or with a client, you want to see a negotiation where both parties are winning. Come to an agreement that benefits everyone and allows the project to be truly successful. If only one side wins, that may mean that something else has to give, and it just might be how high quality your project is.